if you deploy the things I'm good at, combine it with the things he's good at, get him to go focus on the things he's the best at, he's going to spend time, energy, and effort on blowing the things up where he can put his commitment and time. If I'm looking to level up with a partner, so John Maxwell in 21 Irrefutable Laws, first law is law of the lid. Lid is a cap, and you can't attract people higher than you to go underneath you. So understanding that law, in my case, I and Natalie went up to Grant because his image and his skill set and his belief and his creative ability is so big that I could see myself drafting behind him, supporting him, but also then pursuing my goals underneath him because of the success that he had had. When I'm looking for leaders, I'm looking for leaders that have the same awareness and humility about their skill sets and what they want to draft and who they want to draft behind so that they can use that backdraft to move faster. What I'm not looking for are people with ignorance, intellectual arrogance, who want to make it all about them, who don't respect the accomplishments of others. And so I'm really particular about the people I'll partner with and who I'll work with. And the first indicator I get that they're demonstrating intellectual ignorance or arrogance, I'll disconnect from them, because the one thing is that you can never forget about how you got to where you're at, but you also equally can't ever forget of where you're going and who's helping you get there. And there's so many people that want to use people to get to the next level, but then they want to disengage and go find somebody else. And for me, it's like the longer you can preserve great relationships, add value to each other, and multiply together, the faster you go. So using Grant as case in point, when Grant and I partnered, his business, his real estate fund is 5 times bigger than where it was when we partnered 4 years ago. And my business is 3 times the size his business was when we partnered 4 years ago. So what that means is if you deploy the things I'm good at, combine it with the things he's good at, get him to go focus on the things he's the best at, he's going to spend time, energy, and effort on blowing the things up where he can put his commitment and time. But the backdraft to that is so strong, it sucks me up to a greater level of success as well. So that's what good partners should do with each other. And when you start letting ignorance and arrogance get involved with that, and start, oh, it's because of me, or I'm a bigger deal, or I'm entitled to this or that, it all disintegrates because it's the total sum of the momentum you create together. And when someone steps outside of that, they cause problems. And so when I see a business owner starting to do that, and I don't ask any business owner to do anything different than what I'm willing to do, and my job is to create so much momentum behind Grant that it allows him to be the best version of himself, propelling all of us to a greater level of heights. And so when you recognize your roles, contributions, responsibilities, and commitment to each other, everyone in the organization moves faster. Consequently, we now have 3 companies that have 500 employees versus him having one with 100. And the thing is, he and Elena have been phenomenal mentors to Natalie and I. So where our strengths are, he helps us exemplify those. Where our weaknesses were, he helps bridge those. And so the thing is, the guy's a beast, and you cannot ever take away the 15 years he's been laying the groundwork. And if you look at his accomplishments, he's single-handedly raised more crowdfunding, over $1.1 billion, than any human in this planet in 4 years. He's acquired $4.5 billion of premium Class A space, which, in full disclosure, outside of Grant, I'm the second largest investor in the portfolio. So we enjoy that. I enjoy him working his ass off for me. I love it. He sends me a check every single month. But the flip side to that is he's got me working my ass off for us on the business side. And what's happening is allowing both of us to pursue our goals. It's allowing Natalie and I to be mentored by 2 remarkable people. And then we can take what we're learning and mentor down to the people following us. So this is how it's supposed to work, right? And when you can get in that alignment. And John Maxwell talks about true leadership is making other people's success easy. So Natalie and I wanted partners who were going to make our success easy because they were such a great example and they're willing to help us. And I think what happens is people start to get greedy and they start thinking, okay, well, I've learned what I can learn from them. I want to do my own thing because I don't want to share. When I come across a partner like that with me, I get him out of our system as fast as possible. I'll give you an example. I hired a guy who, pawned himself off as being a guru in marketing and all this other stuff. And so I hired him, and he was with me for a couple years. And, he had demands that were not reasonable. And so I was like, all right, man, go do your own thing. And he's like, oh, well, we'll see how the company does without me. And that's when we went to 14.5 million. So we went from 2.5 million in our first 5 months to 14.5 million our first year. And he was like, we'll see how you do without me. And it was the best thing that happened, because as soon as he was removed, we went to 38 million. Then we went to 83 million. So, and the people we have now are absolutely crushing it. So the first inclination of when people need to go is when they think the world revolves around them. And that's true for the founder too.